Hello all, I'm Josh. This is Josh Builds Stuff, and we've got some catching up to do. Today we're talking about the all-new, or old, LEGO Technic Marvel Star Wars Speed Champions Custom Harry Prime Classic big ol' box of minifigures and Spider-Men that have just released in 2021 or 2022. It contains over 1,500 pieces and costs some amount of money and gives you brick sketches. Yes, you heard that right. I said bricks to build mocks or something that flaps its wings and kind of look like official LEGO sets. If you think that's a mouthful, get a load of this. Strange. We've got a lot to cover and duvets are expensive, so today I'll be your conductor. Locomotive or orchestra, you'll find out. Anyone else feel like LEGO is getting to be a bit much? I'll use a personal example. For me, LEGO is getting to be a bit much. As I'm digging deeper and deeper into this LEGO hobby, this will make sense later, I'm realizing there's a lot more to LEGO than meets the eye. And no, I'm not talking about the new LEGO Transformers Optimus Prime set. To further convolute this metaphor, let's climb aboard the Introspection Express as we visit the many avenues of this hobby highway together. It was a train, but I'd buckle up. This one might get bumpy. Pointless transition. What are the many aspects of this LEGO hobby that I'm talking about? Well, some people just want to buy all the newest LEGO sets. Some people want classic LEGO sets. Some people just like amassing big piles of minifigures for some reason. They call it army building. I call it strange. Some people go as far as to rent out entire storage units with the exclusive purpose of storing their LEGO collections. Strange. Maybe you just like buying big lots of loose LEGO pieces. Maybe I could stick to a certain theme. Maybe you like building your own LEGO mocks, like Commander Cody here. I hear he loves building custom LEGO sets. Some people just like to compare old and new versions of the same ship. Heck, there are those who just like purchasing LEGO sets and they don't even build them. They just kind of stay in boxes in their closets. They call it a backlog, but I mean, is it a backlog if you never actually get to your backlog? Some people just like to complain. Looking at you, LEGO Star Wars fans. Believe it or not, some people actually want brick sketches. And many more. Parts, pieces, mocks, minifigures, classic and current sets, it all comes together to be a bit much. So where to start? Why don't we talk about LEGO Star Wars collecting? Some people like LEGO Star Wars. Some people are wrong. Sorry, not sorry. Much like Anakin Skywalker at the end of episode 3, this fan base is pretty divided. We've got sets from video games. We've got remade sets. We've got a Republic fighter tanks. We've got remade sets, High Grounds and Boba Fett's and Bounty Hunters galore. So what do I think about all these LEGO Star Wars sets? I love them. Are any of the build techniques here particularly groundbreaking? No. You know what's groundbreaking? Shovels. There are some fans out there who only collect LEGO Star Wars, and I'm here to tell you, it gets better. There are other themes in the sea, and someday you'll find a theme that fits you just right. Sadly, there are those out there who never outgrew these narrow-minded views. Shout out to Ryan from M&R Productions, but seriously, I used to be the same. I used to only buy LEGO Star Wars too. And then I turned 13 and discovered better things, like girls. And LEGO Technic. Some people say there's no such thing as perfection. And then they look at me, holding the new LEGO Technic Ferrari Daytona SP3. Complex, expensive, beautiful. No, I'm not talking about my wife. I'm talking about the LEGO Ferrari Daytona SP3. What makes the perfect LEGO set? Speed Champions. Is this car for everyone? Probably not. Is this set too complicated for the average collector? Now that's worth thinking about. Everyone still with me? I assume so. The doors in the Introspection Express lock from the outside. The worst news is this train has no brakes, so let's continue. Actual pointless transition. Some people overlook every other aspect of this LEGO hobby and they just focus on the minifigures. We call those people narrow-minded. Some people only buy LEGO Speed Champions. We call those people who make good decisions. Some people like buying big piles of loose LEGO bricks to build with them. However, I will not actually probably build anything meaningful with these pieces, and yet it still somehow brings me comfort to know that I own these pieces. If I come up with some groundbreaking new idea, no. You know what's groundbreaking? Shovels. I dig LEGO brick sketches. What you do with that big old box of pieces is up to you. Build a dog with feathers. You could build a giraffe, build a feather, made of dogs. You could build a new copy, build a father you never had. You could build a gazelle or a wildebeest or any other four-legged hoofed animal. Build a farther way to run. You could even build a non-four-legged, non-hoofed animal. Build a deer, a female deer. Like an elephant. But that would be crazy. Build a brown paper package tied up with string. These are a few of my favorite Lego sets. Usually I prefer classic Lego sets. Y'all remember the 1990s? Boy, were those good times. Pre-Y2K, pre-internet, pre-pubescent. Maybe you're an adult man in his mid-30s, quickly approaching a midlife crisis event. Maybe I'm just considering buying a convertible. Maybe I have a lot of other things going on in my life. Due to high rates of inflation and low levels of understanding of what an interest rate is, the midlife crisis looks a little different these days than it did before. Us millennials are trading the traditional convertible for collectibles, and we're saying thank you to the third-party sellers for only charging us 10 times over the original MSRP. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Little tiny classic car, that is. Guilty as charged. Lock me up, but not too tight. I'm not into that kind of thing. These classic sets are beautiful, especially when viewed through that lens of nostalgia. Were any of the build techniques in here particularly groundbreaking? And what's groundbreaking? Actually, yes, a lot of these early builds really laid the foundation for what we know as Lego today. Don't let the name fool you. I never said the Introspection Express was quick. But the real question that I'm trying to ask tonight is, which of these sets is worth its weight in plastic? Are these sets worth that price? Is this Autobot worth that price? What is worth getting and what's worth leaving at the store? Is anything really worth anything? Are there sets I would have rather spent my money on than these? From what source do you derive your own self-worth? Can you bend this Optimus Prime's knees? Would I sell a kidney to get any one of these sets? Answer: I don't know. Probably not. I would say yes. I don't know. Maybe. Yes. No. Depends on the set. Depends on the kidney. If your goal was to otherwise obscure a relatively simple subject, well, I think you've done a great job. Me. However, seeing all these possible Lego paths down which I could walk, I have reached a fork in the road, if you will. And not the fun kind of fork in the road where you find some free road pasta and there's a fork already included. I'm talking about the kind of fork in the road where you have to make some decision and it's not an easy one. Not like, would you like some grated Parmesan on your free road pasta? Yes, sir, I would. Say when? When never comes. Tomorrow is relative. And so with all of these possible paths along this hobby highway, it's difficult to choose which of these Lego paths we want to go down. And for me, all this indecision kind of leads to, well, inaction. Instead of picking one direction to go, I have stopped moving altogether. But this fella hasn't stopped moving. Look at that, real working shocks. Here's the conundrum that I'm constantly facing though, Mr. Prime. That's that I would love to buy every new Lego set that comes out. I want to buy all of the old, cool classic Lego sets I had as a child. I would also like to acquire a large piece collection with which I can sort or mock, and I don't know, just a storage unit in which to store it all. And so I'm currently being pulled in all of these different directions. I want to do and participate in every other aspect of this Lego hobby, and I am failing to keep up. The good news is this Lego hobby isn't a series of distinct dead-end paths of which you can only choose one. It is a wide open field, and you can jump from one aspect of the hobby to the other. They're all just within walking distance. It's like you're at a big music festival for Lego, except the people aren't strangely dressed and there's not loud music and bunches of crowds and a bunch of young people acting crazy. No, it's like a big, peaceful, empty field that's only full of other Lego enthusiasts, which may be worse than an active music festival, but that's for you to decide. However, during this period of indecision and during this period of inaction, I realized there was one aspect of this hobby that I was consistently taking part in. I never stopped building Lego. And it didn't matter if it was a new set or an old set. I'll build a classic set that I had as a child. I just love the aspect of building Lego. I build Lego when it's convenient. I build Lego when it's not a great time. I build Lego to avoid having to make videos about Lego. I build Lego when I'm in a good headspace. I build Lego when I'm not. I am a bit of a procrastinator by nature. I always have been. I wait until the last minute to do anything meaningful. And during all this procrastination and putting off projects that I should be working on, I always came back to that one thing. Building Lego. I may have been putting off or procrastinating some more important future project. I may have been prioritizing my life in an unhealthy way. I may have been looking at that free road pasta, but saying no to the road pasta because I'm not going down that path just because there's some free road pasta, because you don't know what's on the other end of the road pasta path. Could be a trap. Been there before also. I'm literally building a Lego set right now to procrastinate the editing of this video. And so here's the realization that I am realizing. Maybe you shouldn't eat pasta that you find in the road. And also, I thought I wasn't picking a direction at all, when in fact the direction I was picking was building Lego at the end of the day, or in the middle of the day, depending on how my work day is going at that point. I have a very flexible schedule. So I'm just gonna keep always building, K-A-B, always building Lego, A-B-B, always be building. Never stop building, A-B-C, always be creating. That's better. Use that, always be building. Always be creating. Just building Lego, J-B-L. Oh, I will always be creating Lego by building it. A-B-C-B-B-I. No matter what, I just love building. To conclude, I haven't reached a specific conclusion, but the realization that I've made is that this hobby takes a bit of balance. Trying to participate in every aspect of this hobby, well, that's gonna be a lot to juggle. I would tend to agree. Trying to buy the newest, latest, and greatest Lego sets, trying to keep up with old classic sets. Some people like just picking up minifigures and buying these giant Lego Technic vehicles. Well, I'm here to tell you today, as much as I'm here to tell myself, that in a hobby as broad as Lego, the most important thing you can do is find balance. You can't buy every old and every new Lego set unless you have a ridiculous budget, in which case that budget would probably be better spent buying and burning to the ground your favorite social media site. What you need to be, unlike Optimus's legs here, is flexible. Really, you need to be able to just do something that genuinely makes you happy. Unless being unhappy makes you happy, in which case, go for it. Start a piece collection. That'll do it for sure. Do you want to know the absolute best part of this Lego hobby? It's that when you combine all of these different aspects of the hobby, well, they come together almost like a bit of a symphony. Yes, I'm that kind of conductor now. You've got the new sets on one side, the classic sets on the other, the parts collectors are probably the flautists, and the Star Wars fans are the horn section because they're very loud. The mock builders are there, and the minifigure enthusiasts have their place. There's one old guy in the back. I assume that's the Lego Technic section. The scalpers have no place in our orchestra. They sit in the balcony, and not like to have a good view of the show. They're like, it's like an Abraham Lincoln balcony. The metaphor has gone too far. What I'm saying is that when all of the many aspects of this hobby come together, we form a beautiful community. And I've seen it happen. When this community really gets rolling all in the same direction, it feels powerful, like there's a kind of energy there, almost like an electricity, which is dangerous for me because after all, I am a conductor. If there's one thing I know about the Lego community, y'all are a tenacious bunch. Y'all can endure just about anything, including the entirety of this video. And if you've made it this far, well, hats off to you. Literally, I'm not wearing a hat right now. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, be sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends. If you haven't, well, I don't care at all. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Hopefully very, very soon. I mean it, I'm back. I miss you all very much. See you next time.